What's up, everyone? It's WFX, and today's video is going to be really, really exciting because I'm joined by my top student, Liam. He has been showing incredible results lately. He has been incredibly active in the community, has crazy backtesting and forward testing results. And I was really curious and excited to hear from him, to see him, and to show you guys. And let's hear his story. Let's see what he has to say and maybe get some tips on how you can also improve your trading. So, Liam, how are you? Tell me about yourself.
Anyway, I'm good. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me on board. But yeah, so name's Leon. I'm 23 years old. Yeah, 23 years old, and I started trading just this year of January. I wanted to make a change, something in my life. Been working that 9 to 5 life, not really 9 to 5, more like 5 to 3. But wanted to
Yeah,
make a change and I really was looking for something to do on the online space, and trading was really not my first option, because I've seen
right.
people say, this and that, about trading not working for them. It's a gambling, that this and that, this and that. But then I gave it a try, I gave it a try because I was really always curious to see how it works. And again, like seeing people be successful in it, you have to think at some point, like, what are these people calling that are scams? Are these the people that are like failed this? And then as I dove deeper into trading, seeing people say about the like 97 or 95% of people fail to do this, and only like the top 5% makes it. So I'm like, so to be really, in that top 5%, you have to be like super extraordinary. And then,
Exactly.
yeah,
Like,
so
guys, I want to interrupt you a bit because I
yeah.
bet everyone that's watching that's watching this video is trying to figure out why you and why are we watching you? Why are you in this interview? And simply to introduce Liam, he has been showing spectacular results on his back testing data, which we're going to look later on in this video. He's going to show crazy returns. He's going to talk about his struggles. He's going to talk about the struggles he overcame. He's going to talk about his tips that made him so successful. So, Liam is not just some random guy off the street. Liam is someone who started trading only in January, correct?
Yes.
So it's been only 6 months and he's been showing crazy results. So I know some of you may be struggling for the past 2 months, for the past year, for the past 5 years, and interested to see and know how this guy in 6 months started to get these extraordinary results. So as we continue, I want you to tell me what was your biggest struggle before you joined the Hidden Edge and like when you started trading in general.
So basically, my the main struggle that I had, even after learning like all the basics and everything, is following a strategy or having a strategy per se. Because even if you learn all the basics on, let's say, if you just learn from YouTube, right? You learn all these things. There's like a million videos on YouTube, and to see, like, there's so many options, right? So if this, like, it's like a shiny thing syndrome, or like if you see this thing but it doesn't work for you, you jump onto the next thing,
Right.
and you keep repeating that. So me, after I finish my like kind of learning the basics, I'm like, okay, now I have to stick to like a strategy, and then but it has to work for me, right? So
Yeah.
I joined someone else's mentorships, let's say, and I went through that, and then I learned everything there, and then I tried to apply that strategy for me. And I'm like, it's not really working for me, right? Because it was more of a scalping strategy, and then that's when I say I gotta find someone that
Right.
a strategy that will work for me.
Yeah.
And funny thing is, that's when I I was, going to work, listening to a podcast where Davi was the guest, and that's when everything was like, okay, whatever he said in that interview is what was clicking. And I was like, okay, this is for me, I think. So that's when I jumped into his YouTube, see what he's doing, and then that's when I joined. the mentorship because I didn't even know that he had a mentorship. But overall, yeah, just this main struggle was following and sticking to a strategy because without following something, you'll be lost, especially if you're a beginner, right? You're entering this, you're entering trading. You're against like people who have been experienced and in the market for years. And then here you are as a beginner trying to just learn
Yeah,
by
like
yourself
bro, like
and
I feel
you're
like
recreating your own thing. So if you have someone's like strategy or something to follow and then learn from that, then I that's what really helped me, and I would say
exactly.
that was like the
Exactly, bro.
turning point for me.
I feel like so many people make a mistake where they get into trading and they look for different uh, at different time frames every day. They look at different
Yeah.
entries every day. They even trade different strategies every day. And like I like to say consistent analysis equals consistent results. And
Yes,
the way and trading needs to be done, it needs to be a systematic process where every day you sit
for
down
sure.
and it's like I know what I'm looking for at weekly time frame. I know what I'm looking at daily time frame. What time frame is my entries? Like it has to be system. It has to be your system against the markets, not your mentality, not your psychology. Yes, the psychology plays part in it, but how well your system outperforms the markets. And you can only have a system if you have certain rules put in place, right? So even like we
Yeah,
have trade management rules, risk management rules, all these rules are there so we don't fade away to left and right while we're
yeah.
trading. Okay. So how did you first come? How did you see me? How did you know? Where did you notice me first?
So it was in a podcast that you were invited to, and yeah, it was from my previous mentorship, and they had you on that podcast, which is Titans of Tomorrow, I think.
Oh,
And
okay.
then so yeah, so everything you said there, like you said, talking about trade management, risk management, and just the strategy. Because I
Yeah.
remember the you were mentioning your strategy, and you were like, but that's not it. Strategy is nothing without these different things. It's like the tip of the iceberg, right?
Exactly.
Like people see your strategy, but they don't see what's like behind the scenes of everything, right? So you have your trade management, risk management, and really like people who just watches you on YouTube will not see that until they join the mentorship, and that's what I saw in the mentorship, right? The all the behind the scenes of all these things that works in your strategy. And as a beginner, like 9 years of experience and grabbing all that information, like as a beginner, it just helps you, like legit. Like
Exactly.
you're not showing up to the markets, and you know you're lost because you don't know what to follow. Like as you said, it's a very systematic approach, right? And then when I started, I didn't even know how to use trading view. Like that was like one
Oh
of the
yeah,
main
yeah.
struggle that I had. I remember I told you, I'm like, that was like one of the closest time I've ever tried to quit trading because I didn't even know how to use trading view. I'm like, how do people like see this? How do people know
Yeah.
this is
I
supply?
mean,
How do people know
I
this
feel
is a
like it's
demand?
for everyone the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, that was like funny to say that it is a struggle, but people who are new to trading, they will always have that struggle, and then like 2 months later on, when they get comfy with just analyzing charts, they're like, "Wow, I used to like struggle on this." But yeah, so
Exactly.
that was like
Oh,
one of the struggles I've had, and then just after joining the mentorship, that's when I really know where to look, when to look, and what to
all
look
right.
for,
So yeah,
basically.
talk me through. Talk me through. Um. So before you join, I don't want this to make it like like a fucking promotion thing. I wanted to make it like more like a
Yeah,
podcast. But the way I want to
yeah,
understand your thought process and just I want to understand and I want people to understand. Okay. So before you felt like you were, I mean, in the beginning you were a complete newbie, didn't even know how to analyze the charts. Then you
yeah,
come from a mentorship that gives too much information where it makes everything confused
yeah.
and you don't have a system, you don't have a step-by-step approach how to enter a trade, manage the trade, and exit the trade. Talk me through after you join, 2 weeks after, what changed?
Hmm. So when I joined, it was literally a quick decision. After that podcast, I joined right away,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I there was a course section right in your mentorship, and I finished that like fast. I finished it in a week. So after that, I booked a call with you, and then I'm like, I tried backtesting myself, and I'm like, my main struggle was not finding supply and demand zones, right? And that was when I was still like new to the
Yeah.
community, and I was struggling with finding supply and demand zones. And that was when you told me about the live recording sessions. So at this point, there was a couple videos of live recording sessions, and you told me to go over them and then learn what is in there, because those live recording sessions are basically you trading live but just
Yeah.
recorded, so you still feel it, as someone who doesn't really have time in the during your live trading sessions. It's good that you have the recording.
Exactly.
So after 2 weeks of live recording sessions, watching everyday back testing, so that's what I did basically. I watched two live recording sessions every day, and then I would back test for 2 hours, and that was like right after my 9 hour shift. So I was doing this after work because I was this
He's
determined.
a guys. I'm not gonna lie. He's a hard worker. He's not just that he has a full. You can say full time job, correct? He
Yes, I
doesn't
do.
have
Yeah,
that
full
many
time.
days off, and then uh, out of I would say top student in a way because he was putting all the work in. Like we're gonna see it later in the video. He's gonna show the results. He's gonna show like the returns. Those are crazy. But the fact is that he has a job. He finds a way not just to backtest, but do it correctly. Take notes. Watch all the recording videos. Like as soon as we had that first one-on-one call, I was like, this guy is special. This guy has dedication because I saw myself in him when like I was completely the same way. I had college, I had basketball at the time, and like I had to find a way to do it. So it was either late nights or early mornings, and I was like, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, so you found a way to apply the system. Um,
Yeah,
what was the biggest challenge you had to overcome when applying what you learned?
it was, for me, the biggest challenge was fearing that the trade, like, even though you see the setup, you
Yeah.
had that fear that it was gonna go wrong. I
Okay.
would say this comes from being a perfectionist,
Okay.
because again, in trading it's probabilities, right? And then it's like a casino, but in a casino in a way that you're the house and you're not the player, because casinos,
Yeah.
they always open and they're always making the money. Like in trading, as long as you have that edge, like let's say it used to be 50-50 that you win or lose, it's literally buy or sell, right?
Yeah.
50-50. But if you have an edge and you've seen this time play out so many times, so now you're above 50%, so you have that edge. And then sometimes when you see the setup right in front of you, and then you still don't take it because you have that fear of being wrong. But
Right.
that's what I had to overcome during my back testing session and a forward testing session, because you know I didn't want to be wrong, but at the same time, this time it turned out to be a hit full TP and stuff like that. So I'm like, how come during when it's time to enter and I'm not executing, so I had to let go of that. I'm like, whenever it presents itself, I have to take it. And I only take like A plus setups, as you guys can see later once I start sharing my screen.
Yeah.
I literally take trades like once a week per pair, like once a week per pair. And then as you do that, add them all up, you would be taking like 3 to 4 trades per week, and
Yeah.
that would be enough, you know?
Yeah,
And yeah,
man.
I
Like
think,
I feel like that's such a big struggle for people to understand that you can only understand when you do those backtesting sessions like
yeah,
truly and honestly with yourself because I have people I've traded myself for 9 years. I had many people to go through me and stuff like that and I notice some patterns that people do. They learn a trading system and they want to open 10 trades every single day.
yeah,
That's not how trading works. You need to understand that you should only take the trades that applies to your trading system, and you can only understand that by doing backtesting, because when you're
Yes.
backtesting, like you can scroll to hourly candles in a seconds, and go through months in couple minutes, right? So it's easy to wait through those candles, but when it's time to apply them to real markets, you have to sit and wait through those candles,
Yeah.
and people
Yeah.
don't have patience to do that. So
Hmm.
like what you're going to show on the charts, I believe, you will show people that there's probably going to be weeks or even 2 weeks where you didn't take a trade. And once you see that, once you experience that, you get that knowledge, you get that understanding
Yeah.
of how to actually trade, right?
Yes. Because, yeah, like patience, like what I told people in our community, like that used to be like that again, that was used to be my struggle, fearing that, the strategy wasn't going to play out. But now I've shifted my mindset to be like, think of yourself as a floor trader per se, that your only job is to execute whenever the strategy presents itself. And because of your risk management system, that's the only thing you can control. And once you're in the trade, you have your trade management system, and
Yeah,
that's the only thing you can control. And like you said in the podcast, is whatever the market gives is whatever we could take. We can't really predict, and then so we only know how to react. So those risk management and trade management systems that you have built into your strategy are the two things that main important things which builds the triangle, which is the strategy, risk management, trade management. And if you have that, you could have trades that are like let's say even a losing trade be a winning trade, because you know how to react to certain price action and stuff like that you know
yeah, yeah, exactly. Knowing, uh, people ask me all the time, how do I remove emotions from trading? How do I remove emotions from
yeah.
trading? The only way you can remove emotions from trading, not by meditating, but by putting yourself in boundaries, putting yourself in
Hmm.
set of rules where it's like, for me to enter the trade, I need this. When I'm in the trade, instead of my emotions controlling me, being in a drawdown, closing the trade for no reason, you set trade management rules. And
Yes.
then before you enter the trade, what type of risk you're using, you put your risk management rules. All of these steps, they stack up, and there's no room for emotions because you know
Exactly.
exactly what you're looking for. So you're absolutely correct. Now let's talk about results. I want you to tell me what type of, I know before you joined, you
Yeah.
basically didn't have trading experience, which is
No.
crazy from the results you told me about. But
Yeah.
I want you to tell me what type of improvements in results you start to see. I mean, if you didn't trade before, then maybe you know just talk about your results, your win rate, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So this is actually the first strategy that I've ever back tested, because this is the only strategy that I felt comfy and I actually understood. So let me share my screen to everyone so they could see. So let me share this. All right, could you guys see my screen?
Yeah,
So let me put in all sessions. Actually, let's do.
357.
Sorry, that's already spoiler alert. But
Spoiler alert!
yeah, that's
It's
spoiler alert.
crazy.
So basically, this is the very first backtesting session that I've had, and this was
Okay,
at the start of my journey here in the trading, hidden edge. Sorry.
crazy. So
So
65% win rate,
yeah,
one to
65%
four
win
profit
rate.
factor.
Yeah, and with this is 96 trades.
Oh shit.
And
Okay.
you guys will wonder why is it so small, 4,302. But guys, I started this with a
Oh.
2,884 starting balance, because at that time that was the only prop firm, I'd say, or whatever account balance that I was thinking. It was actually 5,000 Canadian, and it was
Oh.
2,844 US. So I was just only there because I was just starting. I wasn't comfy with 100,000. as a balance.
Okay,
So
but this back testing, I see GU. So this is for
yeah,
one asset, GBP USD, correct?
yes, this is for one asset. This is from January, and this is only 1 year. And if I started with 2,000, and then my P&L is 4,000, that's like 150% return, right? For
Yeah,
97 trades. As a beginner, that's what I got.
that's
So
crazy.
yes, and after that,
At
I
this
thought,
time, how long you been inside, like started trading? How was your
this is two
experience?
weeks. This is
2 weeks.
weeks.
2 weeks
Because
is
I
crazy.
watched the course. I could still remember. I watched the course, and then a week after, I booked a call with you, and you told me
Yeah,
to watch the live sessions, and then you told me to book a second call after I take 20 trades. Now
yeah,
I have it on my notes and everything. You said 20 trades, and then I just went all out, 20 trades, and I did 96 trades in 2 weeks because I was seeing it play out. I was super curious. I'm like, okay, this is working, and then I just gotta keep going, and then
yeah,
see, like, I take trades this week. Like, I only took one trade, this, that, one trade for
yeah.
this
Like
week, and
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
people try to look for 5 trades a day, where this is a pure example of you get crazy results by only taking one trade a week. And it's not
yeah,
necessarily you need to take one trade a week, but that's what you should do. Like people just what you need to understand is trading is not 9 to 5. It's not the more you work the more you make, right?
hmm,
it's it's so hard to rewire your brain coming from like a 9 to 5 job, because when you work a 9 to 5 you work over how to say after hours or whatever, and you get bonuses
overtime.
and you get that. The more you work the more you make. In trading it's not the case. In trading actually it's opposite. So I really
Yes,
wanted you to show this example because I wanted the people to see it, real results, real example. All right,
yeah.
show me more. I see
So
some crazy numbers there.
now the sessions, and this is now, like, I think 2 months into
Yeah,
the hidden edge.
yeah,
And then the next trade, the next pair that I back tested was EU.
yeah.
Yeah. So this again,
What's the
78%
starting
winner,
balance?
100K,
100K,
100K. Yeah,
63K profit. That's crazy.
yeah, for
Over
a
how
year.
many trades?
63 trades.
63 trades. So it's not
Yes,
like two
and
trades, not like three trades where it's like luck. It's
yeah, no, and all this, like, you could see, there's break even trades, and there's like 1 to 1
yeah,
R, and again, like, you notice it fluctuates. The reason why it fluctuates because of the trade management rules, and you react. We don't set, like, oh, we need to get 1 to 3, and then we just go out and do whatever. We literally enter the trade, manage our positions correctly, and react to price action. And that's why our profits kind of fluctuates, and then
exactly.
we could have a losing trade be a winning trade, and sometimes we could even minimize our risk.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
here
so
2 weeks no trades I see.
2 weeks
June.
no trades,
And then
June,
next
and
week only
then
one trade
yeah, so you can see six trading days in, like, out of 20, because
in a
there's
month.
20 trading
Yeah.
in a month, 8 days, but still 8 days, 13.4K
Exactly.
profit,
So
you know
literally, simply, in other words, you you work for 5 days in a month and you make 13,000 or whatever
yeah.
that stat was.
So let me add everything that was from last year. I'm not even gonna add GU
So
because
this
that's a
is
3,000.
1 year multiple assets
Yes,
results.
this is EJ, EU, Gold, and US 30. This is four assets out of the. This is not even including GU that had 150% return, because
Yeah.
it had a different, what do you call it? It had a different current balance.
Right.
But all this is 100K, and then the return on this was 200%, like
You are
260%.
getting better results than I do. What are how many trades is that?
229 trades.
229 trades, guys. So it's not
Yeah,
like, he got a profit of 6 trades. This is literally 229 trades. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah. So let's go to my April. Like, you guys saw earlier that there was like a week of no trading, a
Yeah.
week of 2 weeks of no trading. now that I add everything up, I add all the, not even everything. That's only four assets that I did. And there's like almost every day there's a trade, you
Yeah.
know?
When you
Like
get all
here.
of the assets, because we have around 6 to 7 assets that we trade on a daily. So
Yes.
sometimes 3 assets may not have a setup, but other three will have,
Yeah, like here you could see there's a US 30 and a EJ trade, and then the next day gold.
Perfect.
It's not
Look,
every
can
day.
you go on Trading View and show me like your most proud win or your most recent win and just go through like a quick, brief top down analysis if you have
Look
one?
at this. Look at this just today. We were discussing this today.
Wait, it's still showing me the TradeZilla.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so
So
share.
reshare it to your Trading View and then break it down.
Okay, could you guys see
Oh,
this?
fucking hell.
Uh-oh. Okay,
That's
so
crazy.
this we were talking about this earlier. So top-down analysis. Let's go to our weekly. So
Talk me
it's
through,
a
man.
it's a book. Okay, let me just move this. Weekly, previous candle weekly is uh bullish.
Yeah.
Daily still bullish. 4 hours, still bullish. So we go down to our 30-minute to find our liquidity zones, right? So as I mark this zone, sorry, this candle was the accumulation before this big push, right? And then price had to do a break and retest in order to retest the zone. And then during New York session this morning, I saw this entry.
So
It was
talk me through this entry. Tell me the name and tell me the logic behind this.
okay.
I
So
want
this
you to
is what we
explain it.
call the liquidity grab on our strategy, right?
Yeah.
So you see, there's like one, two, three, four touches here, five, six, seven, eight. There's basically like 10 touches of this equal lows, right? And then you see a quick push down right here, and then it goes right back up into the range. So
Okay.
it captured all that stop losses of people who were buying at these levels, right?
Exactly. So
And
you have
then that's what,
liquidity below.
yeah. So it was a liquidity grab, and then
Into the
after that,
zone, liquidity grab
into the
into the
zone,
zone.
back in the
Bro-
range. This is where your entry is. Stop loss below the zone. Oh, sorry, below the pattern that I put. And then, you aim for a 1 to 3, but you don't set your TP there. Like you put it on Trading View, but you don't set a TP
yeah,
because you'll just react after.
exactly.
One of our rules is if it hits 1 to 3 and price or momentum is still with you, then just keep holding. Like even if you close like 70% of your position, you keep 30% of your position running.
Let's
So as you
go,
can see,
baby. Yes.
five minutes, you already hit 1 to 3 here, right? But look at price action here. It never slowed down, kept going up, kept going up. And if we go a 15-minute, there was never a single bearish candle there. And your 1 to 3, if you put it all the way up here and you capture this whole move and close at the end of New York session, because this is roughly, we close at 2 a.m. Sorry, 2 p.m.
yeah.
That would have been almost right there, 1 to 12 RR. And
So now that
that's
that your
just,
20% that you left running, it went all the way to 1 to
yes.
12. So that's like, I think if I'm right at the math, it's just like 2 extra wins, something like that.
Yeah, it's probably, yeah, it
That's
covers
crazy.
whatever. But it was a perfect entry, like all equal lows, and then quick grab of liquidity just for a push up. And then I could show you EU. I don't know if I deleted it, but I won this trade yesterday. Oh, right here. So there was yesterday. Again, big push accumulation right here. It was a 30-minute candle for the big push, but I squeezed it down to 15-minute candle, and
Yeah.
then it broke down, but it broke up again, and then it retested during Asian session and London session, and price respected these zones. And if we go to our lower time frame, which is our where we enter, hold on, where is that now? Sorry, I saw a reversal pattern here with a change
Yeah.
of market structure, and I always mark my thing,
Yeah.
and you know and then you enter at the break of the neckline.
Explain
These
quickly
zones are
what are those
basically,
lines.
so these lines is basically our trade management zones. This is where price has reacted before as a supply and demand. So, and quick term is like major levels. So this is where price would most likely reverse from, or continue. But this is where price would react. It's either you keep holding, or you keep
And
or
according
you
how
take
the
position
price,
out.
yeah, and according how the price reacts to these levels, you react to your position
Exactly.
size. So if the price starts to reject and break below your levels, you position out of your position, out of your trade. If it just continues through, you just hold your full position, and that's how you
Yeah.
move with the
And
markets.
yeah, and again, like this trade, you entered in, at the break, and then if you catch a 1 to 3, that's literally it, 1 to 3, right there. But then you leave some runners,
Exactly.
and at the end of New York session, it's literally a 1 to 6 RR trade,
Yeah.
right? And then if you want to go to sleep, not stressing about price going anywhere, then you don't hold, but still it keeps going up, keep going up, you know and
Or you
then
can
yeah,
like, yeah,
that's it.
set your
So
stops to break even and like leave it
yeah,
running for a couple days.
exactly, be stress
Uh,
free. And then yeah, that's it. So that's basically a couple trades that just happened this week.
Beautiful.
And especially like in these market conditions, people are struggling to trade. But for me, as a beginner, it's better for me to uh be in this, what do you call this, be in this position now, like during the hard times. That way, when everything is going good, I'm used to it. So yeah, so I could show you my backtesting for this year only. Could you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, so this is EU and GU 2025 year. And then yeah, basically I started January backtesting. I'm not even
Oh,
done
this
EU.
year. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's this year. Yeah, so
Insane,
this year.
insane.
Yeah.
So if you can go
This
back to your
is
camera, and I want you to say someone watching in the same, like someone who's watching, and you think they are in the same position as you when they started, or they're in a position where it's like, man, nothing is working for me right now. Honest uh, advice to someone who was in your, who is in your shoes when you started, or who's in your in struggling right now.
okay. So my number one advice would be, just, I guess, just try. Give it a chance, Give it a chance. Give mentorship a chance. Like, it's a hard path to follow, or what, it's a hard, what do you call this, career or whatever, to succeed in. And having just a mentor who has been in it, and has the experience, like Davi, just guide you through everything, will speed up whatever you're trying to do. Like, yes, you could do it by yourself, but here you need guidance, and you need a community to keep pushing you forward and stuff like that. And that's what I found in this community. I mean, in this mentorship, the community, and a great mentor like Davi, like, which is really the turning point of my career on trading. Sorry, turning point in my career in trading, because before, I didn't really see how I will succeed in this. And
Yeah,
I was always doubting myself, like, okay, so it's very hard. It's very hard thing to do. There's a lot of strategy here, and that you're up against like big players in the market, and you're just this person.
yeah,
So yeah, so after, just give it a chance. That's what I would say. And yeah, just give it a chance. The only way you will fail is if you quit, and you will be a part of that 95%
yeah.
that people fail. So it again, I forgot where I saw that. It's like it takes 90 days for people to quit trading, because
To 90
it's like
days
a
to
test.
lose 90% of the
That,
money. 90% of traders lose 90% of their money in 90 days.
yeah, something like that. So
Yeah.
I'm still here. So but
Yeah,
that's because of,
that's like a shitty thing, but it's like it's all about how you move. I mean, if you come with the bad expectations, with the wrong expectations,
Yeah.
then you're gonna get the wrong results. You
Yeah.
know,
And
Ta-
yeah,
yeah,
it's so yeah, it's like believe. I think I talked to one of our community about this. Like believing in trading is the number one thing. Believing in yourself is the second thing, and believing in your strategy. So if
right.
you have those all beliefs, and then everything will just correlate with each other. If you believe in yourself, you will believe in trading. If you believe in trading, you will believe in your strategy, and vice versa. And you just gotta stick to it. And every lesson here, like even if you make a mistake, every lesson will be a part of your journey, and it's gonna be one hell of a journey, and you just gotta
Yeah.
keep riding.
I wanna mention this one more thing. Talk me about, like, for me personally, who builds a mentorship. uh, I don't like to call it mentorship. It is mentorship, but I want to call it a
Yeah,
community. I want
yeah,
to make a family, people
yeah.
who are together and people who are becoming successful together. And I want you to tell me about how has been your experience inside of the community with all of the members that are inside of the Hidden Edge.
Yes. So I think that's like what makes the hidden edge itself, is the community that you have and you have built. Because when I joined, there was only like a couple people, 30 people. So I was part of like, the OG, I would say.
Yeah,
And then later on there's a lot of people that joined, but you know what didn't change is people help each other here. So even new people help each other because they were once before that person that was asking questions, and now they're the ones teaching the lessons,
exactly. Yeah,
and then yeah. So the number one thing in that community is everyone sees the same thing. That's how good the strategy is and the system is. You literally send an analysis and people will see it too. And like, oh, I have the same, I have the same. Because during like every week, what I do is I have like I send my weekly bias and stuff like that, and seeing people have the same thing, you're like, you feel better and you feel more confident that you're doing the right thing. So with this community, you literally have people by your side, like helping you and helping each other. And other people, they don't even tell their friends that they do this. And this is like your own little
yeah,
trading people. And we're literally like all across the globe. I talk to people from Dubai, UK, Thailand. And there's more like
yeah, yeah.
Germany.
All around the
It's
world.
literally it's literally global. And this is what you build, Dobby. And then like I always say, like when we talk, even when Dobby's not there, like he'd be a proud father because of
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
community. It's like his baby.
Um, look, I want to ask you one last question. If you
Yeah.
could tell, if you would see yourself 6 months ago, day one, Leon, you could speak to him right now in like three, four, 5 sentences. What would you tell
Wow. That's a
him?
good question. Huh. I would probably just say just trust the process, you know.
Yeah,
Just trust the process because out of or enjoy the journey. That's
yeah,
one thing.
that's
That
it.
enjoy
That's
the
it.
journey because there's a lot of times where you might be kicking yourself for making a mistake and stuff like that. But later on, when you're a successful trader, a profitable trader, you're gonna look back and you're gonna laugh and you're gonna be like, yo, remember that time. And then because once you make it, it's literally crazy at that point now, right? You just gotta scale
Yeah,
up. But the journey is what makes making it more, what do you call this? Make it better, basically. So
yeah,
without the struggles, the journey, without the struggles, the win won't really matter. It's the journey for sure. So yeah, enjoy the journey. That's
yeah.
what I
I
would say.
mean, Liam, I really appreciate you taking the time, sharing your story. For everyone who's watching and feels like they heard their story, they they are in the same position Liam was, or you have the same struggles Liam had or has. I mean, you are killing it right now. Make
Thank
sure
you.
you like the video, leave the comment asking something to Liam. I will ask
Yeah,
Liam if you see any comments on the video. Try to reply and say something and help people out. I will be in the comments as well. And of course, if you want to join our family, if you want to join the Hidden Edge, check out the description of this video and click the first link. Join, book a call with my team, and we'll see if you're the right fit. And we would love to have you as part of the Hidden Edge. Thanks again, Liam. Uh,
no problem.
it
Thank
was
you
a
for having
pleasure,
me.
man. It was a pleasure, man. See you in the Discord.
Thank you.